As if it shouldn't be any surprise, this story involves around individualism and the construct that our society around unlimited consumption. This video is just a real quick video I wanted to put out there, which is an experience I had earlier involving, it happened to be an African American who walked into a 7-Eleven that I was picking up a Postmates order from. So the interaction went something like this gentleman entering the store, and he was wearing a mask, which is kind of uncommon, particularly in Texas. If you aren't from here or know, we're reopening everything, and misinformation has caused many people to lean in their own holes, per se, of political ideology, and even what facts are is all dependent on what they read in their feeds. So that being said, a lot of people don't wear masks because of misinformation. But this individual had a mask on, so having been a healthcare professional, I full well acknowledge and understand the benefits to wearing a mask and how that affects others. So I mentioned to this man, who seemed to be around his mid-20s, very large, tall, I said, "Thank you for wearing a mask." And his response was, "Oh, I'm not doing this for anybody else, I'm doing this for me." And I sort of scoffed, "You're not a sociopath too?" And he goes, and his response was, I don't know. I mean, he didn't know what that meant, the complete disregard for others. But having been through the past several months of pent-up anxiety, I knew that violence leads nowhere, or intimidation, or fear, or using power to dominate and control, which are some terrible words that our commander-in-chief had used recently, because let's face it, he's a psychopath. But basically, when I turned back around and came around the aisle, I saw him. I turned it around to something positive. I said, "Well, you should be taking vitamin D, because there's significant scientific evidence suggesting that people of African American descent, or even the Hispanic population, are lacking vitamin D and we're certainly not getting it from our diet." Regardless, he thanked me, and he said, "Wow, I didn't know that." I said, "Yeah, you're welcome. Like, I'm pasty white. I didn't ask for this. None of this happened to be singling out that he was African American. I mean, I sunburn easily. Like, we all have I didn't choose this. We don't choose who we are. We just got what we got." And I figured at the very least we could use information to suggest to people what they should be doing, because the media or nobody is really telling people how to boost their immune system, how to get proper sleep, and take supplements, and what foods contain what things, how to just keep themselves immune and healthy. And he thanked me. He said, "Wow, yeah, appreciate you, man. Like, I didn't know that." And he says, "Where do you get it from?" And I happen to know you can get it from cod, mackerel, various types of fishes, sardines. You can go to the store and buy a tablet for, whatever, $10. I mean, a pill form. But the original response was alarming and not surprising, that we're not yet at that place as a society and a culture where the whole notion of picking yourself up in your bootstraps, individualism, is basically the whole function construct of what we've been bred to believe since growing up, is out for myself, I'm the winner, and winner takes all. And the more this goes on, the much more destabilized our society becomes, and the much more unequal, and the much less enjoyable place it is to live. So the takeaway of this video is to insist on turning contempt and resentment towards those not living up to your standards. Offer something that is beneficial and positive that they can take away from the interaction. And I know that's much easier said than done. Even for myself, I'm prone to self-sabotaging. I'll say shit to people and realize after I said it, oh my God, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. When philosophically, I believe that we are in oneness, that we all are connected and unified. And there is no difference between you and I in terms of the amalgamation of particles that granted our consciousness from the universe. I mean, we're all the same. So the sameness and oneness can be proliferated and reminded through the pursuit and exchange of knowledge, information, and compassion. Really, what an interesting time to be alive. It wasn't like this a few years ago, obviously. So, I hope you were able to take something away from this video. It was one of those sort of pass and go encounter. It encapsulated everything that it is to be controlled and sustained in this materialistic and world of comparisons that this capitalistic society encourages us from birth, with now somewhere about 5,000 ads being exposed to us daily. So break free from the chains and the shackles. Don't identify with things and separation, and instead turn outwards, because narcissism is going inwards, and that's what this all is. It's a culture of narcissism. So maybe this is a revolution. I don't know. And I think that the next 10 years are going to be a proving ground for new ideologies and revolutionary ideas in the American way of life. Thanks for watching.